What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Battle Cage. This is yet another great episode. This is Battlecast episode numero tres. That's number 3. Today we're looking at Santos versus Ankalaev, and believe it or not, I'm excited. So let's break this card down. You know what I mean? As I just mentioned, Santos versus Ankalaev is the main fight. It is headlining this Saturday for UFC, even though it is a stacked weekend with everything, you name it. So many fights going down. LFA, Invicta just passed. We got PFL, we got Bellator, and we got UFC. But you know what? UFC is the bread and butter. It is the upper echelon, if you will. It is the major league. It is the A league. You know what I mean? So we're focusing on that much more. And we got an interesting fight here. We got Santos versus Ankalaev. And man, I'm just speaking to you guys, and believe it or not, I'm getting goosebumps because I think it's gonna be a phenomenal fight. Again, hopefully, right? But yeah, just a feel from it. Now, overall, there's gonna be a lot of takes and a lot of hesitation. We're coming off 2 events where I went very, very profitable. With the Wellington tournament call on the dog, I had 30 units and a 4 net night after accounting for the P&L profit loss. Came out with a solid 30 unit night, and then we just came off another great night, right? If you didn't see my videos, they're right over here on Battle Cage on my channel, and it started right here with this card. It was the Makhachev versus Bobby Green card. That's where I really started going crazy. It was my first Battlecast live, and then we had that first episode of Battlecast. The second episode, we recapped what happened at UFC 272, and here we are moving forward. So we got Santos versus Ankalaev. We have plus 56 units, you know what I'm saying? Plus we have other plays. We're almost at 60 actually, plus 60 units. But we're gonna keep it. For record keeping. I think. Let's be honest. Let's call the true number. I'm not gonna count like basketball and all that stuff and some sneaky plays that I did. But overall, let's keep it at plus 56 units. So the theme that I'm going into this card is, one, I really want to enjoy this card as a fan. That's my number one priority. And when I do that, I want to play reserved, because if I'm coming in with so much plus, I will be absolutely tempted to get more. And when greed shows up, you lose everything. At least that's what I've learned. And by now, you know what I'm talking about. So the key is to enjoy this card. Find the positions that you want to follow. But most importantly, don't give everything back. So the max for me, I'm looking at 6 units. But because I don't want to play even with 6 units, I'm thinking I'm going to cap off myself at a max 3 units. Now, I will have a 2-unit parlay, and I will have a maybe 0.5 unit straight, or another parlay, or a prop parlay, and another 0.5 as a straight call, possibly. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking, 2-unit straight killer parlay, and then half a unit on some, miracles and props, whatever, and then, we'll take it from there. So that's kind of where I'm feeling, and as of right now, according to Topology, there are 14 scheduled fights. there is no need for 14 fights in your life. I mean, seriously. Watch it. Use them as your breaks, your scheduled breaks, because I do that. By now, you know how I roll. And I think trying to get every single position is overkill. I'm more focused on the April 9th card already. Ever since it's a stacked card, which I'm probably going to start talking about in pieces, so that way I don't get overwhelmed by the time we get to that. By the time we get to April. So I'm going to start maybe dishing out some fights, maybe 1 or 2 reviews per fight, like randomly. So that way it's out there. It's for your information. Use it how you please. So obviously I do want to aside in the main event, see what I can do. There's some spots that I'm liking, but there's some really good fights. Just as an MMA fan, if you want to grade this card, I don't think this is a C card at all. I think this is actually a B card because there's just so many interesting and intriguing matchups here that you have to watch it. You just have to. If you follow UFC, you have to watch it. So now that's kind of my a little intro that kind of went over 6 minutes, a lot longer than I thought, but thank God for timestamps. So let's get into the first fight. All right. Okay, so let's look at our first fight. We got Tafon, the Don, and Nchukwi taking on Azamat Murzakanov, the professional. We got the Don coming in at 27 years of age, back to 205. This is back to his light heavyweight division where he got his contract in, and then he kind of fought at middleweight, and you could say he may have struggled, maybe it impacted his performance or whatnot, but I think it's it's an advantage for Tafon. I think he's gonna take that with a positive note rather than a negative. The fact that he's coming back to light heavyweight, in my opinion, he's coming in with a height of 6 feet, and he has a noticeable 6-inch reach advantage, 77 to 71. Azamat, now, if you look at the main page, it says 35. That's an error because if you go into the profile, it actually says he's 32. So I believe he's 32. I compared it to his last fight at Contender Series. It said 32. But, I don't see his birth certificate, so I don't know where the truth is. But let's go with 32 because that's what I saw on the Contender Series. Now, he's coming in with an undefeated record, with a Russian flag, and, a lot of power. If there's one word I can describe this man possesses power because, the way he earned his contract with that dangerous, counter hook, it was so deadly that as soon as it connected, that's it, lights out. He got a mean right hook, okay, especially as a counter. That hook is something to be something to notice, something to be wary of. So definitely, if I'm Tafon, I gotta pay attention to that. Now, with that being said, hopefully the game plan for Tafon Nchukwi would be to keep the distance, prevent any sorts of wrestling, because that would be the kryptonite in here. We saw his fight with Jun Young Park, the Iron Turtle, and you start grabbing Tafon, you start taking him to the later rounds, past the first into the middle of the second, you dragging him into the deep waters into the third round. He does gas out. And it's not gonna be good for him. So as long as you try to finish the fight or be smart, because look, he does have a unanimous win against Mike Rodriguez. But if you compare Mike Rodriguez and Azamat, there's definitely levels. I would have to admit, and there's definitely a bigger threat with this unknown debutant here. I personally learned from my experience not to go too crazy on the debutants, and I gotta be honest with you. There's love for Azamat, but here's my concern, right? Here's my concern, and I'm gonna log in, as you know, because I believe in full transparency. I do not get paid by FanDuel. It just happens to be the sports book of choice for me. Okay, but here's what I'm worried about. And again, it did go up. Azamat, being this undefeated boogeyman, usually, the Russians, they get a little bit more love. You know what I'm saying? Even the guy that fought Tim Elliott, right? Ulanbekov, he was like minus 255 or something, right? So he's not even touching 200 now. It doesn't mean he won't touch 200. He's already at minus 188, and there is movement because the love is out there for him, and the more I listen, the more I try to gauge it, and I'm playing really reserved, but I'm not entirely convinced or sold on this guy, because I simply can't overlook that he fought bums along the way. Now again, it is the regional scenes. He's starting out, but he's really fighting bums. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fights that are almost negligible, okay? Like, they don't count. I don't even think they count. Who cares about them? I might give this one a slide. 5 fights don't count in my book. I look at Tafon. It's not like he has an extensive record or of any sorts, but at least he got some, amateur results over here, and then he was stepping up in competition. And his third fight was an undefeated William Knight, who's also in the UFC, and he KO'd the guy. So ask yourself, will Azamat have an easy day against William Knight? And if that question makes you think and ponder just a bit, I don't think Tafon is getting the respect that he should. At least not from us. But you know who's giving him the respect? The bookies are. He's not a plus 200 yet. And I don't know if he will be. But there is love coming in on Azamat. This is here FanDuel. Open up at minus 136. And progressively, you see the climb to, the set 188. I'm personally not sold, and you know me, I like to go against the grain sometimes. And if I lose, I lose, right? Why? Because, like I said, I do want to enjoy this fight, but I also don't want to go against what I think and what I believe. Right now, am I always right? Hell no. Anyone that tells you that they're locks, maybe some, but not every day, not all the time. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. So, with that all being said, I'm looking over here. I'm like, William Knight's undefeated. Matavio, 8-2. Again, nothing crazy, but that head kick was crazy. Here's Jamie Pickett. Again, nothing crazy. He did get that experience, with that wrestling now, so he's been burned. It's not the first time he's going to be tossed around now. At least he got some experience. I'm sure he's, wrestling. I'm sure he's practicing that because there was that exposure, right? And then, he did enough to get the unanimous in Mike Rodriguez. Nothing too spectacular, but at least the growth is there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to have to say that I like Tafon here, the Don, okay? Because you're telling me that, that this guy, who's going to be a bigger guy in the ring. And you're going to see the difference. Now, maybe not too much by height, but that reach should be there. My only concern, and that's what's going to burn me, is the lack of output by Tafon and Nchukwi. If he's going to win, he has to gain the respect from Azamat from the beginning, which means you're not going to come close. And Azamat is very patient. He's very methodical. Watch the Dana White's Contender Series fight. He did not rush. He was light on his feet, bouncing on the balls of his feet, looking for the way in. And as soon as he found it, clap. Can he do it here? Absolutely. It's a light heavyweight fight for crying out loud. 205 pounds. These guys are monsters. But I'm just thinking that this is not the area, because he's from Nchukwi, Russia. That's not the Dagestani boys. That's not Makhachkala, Russia. That's, maybe close enough, but still not the same area. I don't know if he really trains with them. He's fighting out of New Jersey. So he's definitely going to come with some wrestling for sure. He has to. He's probably, Sambo wrestling, definitely in there. Master of Sport, whatever you want. But I got to edge Tafon here. I think people that have this guy, the night might just start very bad. And this is just my theory on this, So sign me up for some plus money and sign me up for some havoc, okay? I was here, just playing around with some parlays. We'll revisit that. That's not even a problem. But let's start from the beginning. And I'm going to go with some upsets right off the bat. Let people start getting edgy and start chasing. Because that's what happened last week. And that's what they've been doing, right? So let's just see if they're still with the program or they changed the tune. And I think that they haven't changed it. As long as Tafon is not stupid, because that's where he's going to get in trouble if he's stupid. As long as he's not stupid here and he really takes this fight serious, and I'm sure he is, because this is his fourth dance in the UFC. We got to welcome Azamat to the UFC. So you know what? I'm going to go with Tafon the Don for an upset off the bat. Official pick. So now, moving down along. Fight number 2. This is an interesting one, but I'll tell you where my head is at. So, Guido Cannetti, 3 L's in a row, taking on Kris Moutinho, who's everybody's darling right now because he took a beating because his jaw was just strong enough not to fall, which you got to give respect because Sean O'Malley used his face as a punching bag for 3 rounds. And it's sad because he was only like 27 seconds shy of going the distance, and Herb Dean was just like, I gotta stop this fight. I just gotta stop this fight. I believe it was Herb Dean that was the referee. But yeah, he was getting smoked in that fight, and he was getting violent. Man, I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh too much, but how much of a beating, how much of damage did that cause Kris Moutinho? So if you think for any second that I'm going to trust Kris Moutinho here, no. The man came in on the last, whatever notice, last-minute replacement for Sean O'Malley, and Sean O'Malley did what Sean O'Malley does, get that money, homie. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with an official decision of skipping this fight in terms of taking any interest financially. So, but I would hedge Guido Cannetti because his job is on the line and he's 42 years old. But I believe he's a better overall fighter. He's losing to Marlon Vera via submission, which not gonna happen by Kris Moutinho, in my opinion. He getting knocked out by Dana Batagral which I don't think is happening from Kris Moutinho either, per se. You know, I don't want to disrespect the guy. And him going like with Mena Martinez split, ask yourself this question. Who wins the fight? Mena Martinez or Kris Moutinho? Ponder that for a second. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mena Martinez wins that fight. So, am I going to put Kris Moutinho on the same level? No. So, you know what? Sometimes MMA math doesn't make sense. But sometimes it's just the only way to go. So, I'm not looking anything financially. Maybe like a $5 miracle parlay. And if that's the case, I'm taking Guido Cannetti. And that's pretty much what I got to say in that fight. Going with the theme that not every fight has to be taken financially, especially if we did good, right? Because not only do I just want to give you predictions, but I kind of want to show you my style. And I think this is, you know, a wise strategy that, you know, if you're trying to make it, you know, in here and keep your pluses, you got to learn when to cool off and when to go balls deep, right? On a card like Colby Covington with Jorge Masvidal, you go balls deep. You go heavy. You go, man. You go. Here, with so many question marks, with Cody Brondich and Dalcha Leming Goombola or whatever, I really don't care who wins this fight. Maybe you do. And if you do, if you want that technical, analytical analysis, I can't give it to you. I'm just trying to make you money. Like I'm trying to make money, right? Because that's the goal for me. And if that's the goal for you, maybe you want to skip this fight. Because I really don't know. Physically, you know, one got the size. The other one got the reach. One got the experience. The other one got the youth. It's like, I really don't know. They both coming off a L. Cody's coming off a unanimous loss to Nick Maximoff, who likes to grind the shit out of his people, his opponents. And I don't think Dalcha's doing that, right? The champion over here. So, how does he win? He got some unanimous. You know, he beat Marquez Perez via unanimous. You know, here's Magomed Ankalaev knocking him out. Like, you know, someone that we're going to get to know just in just a little while. But yeah, you know, technically, he fights a technical fight against someone who's a little bit technical or a little bit more technical than him. He's going to lose this fight. But I don't have a solid read on either of these guys. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking if my dog barks, I take 5 to 10% and I'm hitting it on Guido Cannetti, and that hits, I'm going straight to the bar and I'm going to chill and wait for this fight to finish. That's my break. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So, and guess what? This fight is no different. This one is no different. You got Sabina Mazo, the Colombian queen, coming off 2 L's to Alexis Davis via unanimous. No surprise. And here's Maria Agapova, who just got submitted herself, and she's putting work on her. So what is that really saying about her ground game? Now, Miranda Maverick, she's on a 2L skid herself, but she's getting a lot of respect here from the bookies and the public, I guess. You know what I'm saying? What's the public perception? The public perception is 91%. Wow. I mean, that's some heavy percentage. So, that has to be reflected. And here it is, minus 325. And you know what? I can see that. 91% is a reach. It's a little bit too much for my liking. You know, I get scared when I see numbers like that, especially, you know, in women's MMA. No disrespect, but, you know, give me someone like Thug Rose at minus 300, you know, against an opponent. Give me someone like, up until recently, Amanda Nunes, right? She was like minus 1,000. Give me someone like Valentina Shevchenko. You know, give me someone like Chris Cyborg, someone, you know, one of those ladies that I can be like, yeah, right. Give me someone like who just had Casey O'Neill versus what's her name, the Happy Warrior who just retired. You know, I can see those numbers and I can maybe find justification. Here it's tough. Physically, Mazo is bigger. She's 5'7", and she got the reach. But Miranda Maverick, man, you know, I think the ground game is going to be the deciding factor here. I think her pressure is here. And if we're totally honest, I think she beat Macy Barber. I'm going to go on record here and tell you that I had a ticket on Macy Barber, and I thought she lost. I promise you that when the judges were reading that split decision, I was almost certain that she won, and I was in process of looking for another wager because I was desperate that I lost this one. But guess what? I hit Macy Barber. The luck was on my side. I was on the right rig, if you will. You know, she lost to Erin Blanchfield, and Erin Blanchfield is no joke. Like that, this is the girl that we really gotta watch moving forward. Here's Erin Blanchfield. We got to look at her profile. This girl her nickname is Cold-Blooded. She fights cold-blooded. I love this girl. She's 8-1. She's only 22 years old, and she's fighting out of New York. I mean, what more can you ask for, especially from an MMA fan from New York? I'm all Erin Blanchfield, and yeah, I'm really high on this girl. So let's go, Erin. Now, going back to the fight at hand. I think there's more talent in Miranda Maverick than Sabina Mazo. And she's at Elevation Fight Team. And those guys and girls, they don't play. You know, they really about it. They bring everything. So I'm going to have to back Miranda Maverick. I don't like the price. I'm not looking to maybe take her by a prop. There's a feel that it might not go that far because, you know, Mazo's getting finished. Perhaps there's path to that, right? So I'm sure they're exploiting that fact. They're looking forward to maybe take her down, pounce on her face. She gives up her back, lock it in, submit. I can see that happening. So Miranda Fear the Maverick would be the pick, at least from my side. She's a better technical fighter, in my opinion. She's training with better fighters, and the talent discrepancies there enhance that big gap. Okay, so we're gonna go with Miranda Fear the Maverick as the official pick. Okay, we got Damon Jackson taking on Kamuela Kirk. Another fight that I'm a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit hesitant to really pull aside here. The lines are good enough to make a play. I will have to say that. Let me see if they're still good enough. Minus 115, minus 1. Yeah, I mean, this is like a coin flip fight. I don't like coin flip fights. I'm edging Damian Jackson simply because of experience. And what he's bringing to the table. But I don't know. I really don't know. And if my Miranda Maverick comes through, I'm taking a break. This is another break for me. You will see, and I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of skips and a lot of breaks here. But like I said, the theme is not to give everything back. And that's important because you can't always choose a side and try to put a wager in it. It's just impossible. It's not how it's done, you know. It's not smart. So push comes to shove. I'm leaning on the dog, the leech, to get it done because he was riding a good win streak. He was coming off. He was finishing, back-to-back submissions. He finished Mursad Bektik at one point, a name, and then. Ilia Topuria, it's just Ilia Topuria. This man is an animal. So what do you want me to say? And then he bounces back with a win against Charles Rosa, which is a good win. And here's Kirk. Kirk fought Makwan Amirkhani, got that, unanimous win last year. Prior to that, he came off an LFA win against a 2010 fighter and an 8-3 fighter. So he is finishing fights at a lower level. He is having trouble. His Billy Q finishing him in Contender Series. Now, I'm not going to compare Damian Jackson to Billy Q, but Damian Jackson, he's not playing any games. He's been in the UFC already. He's dancing, okay? So, 3 fights, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4 fights, actually. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. 3 fights as well. I don't know. I'm feeling Damian Jackson. And let's go with another dog here. How confident I am? Not very confident. 50%. Fine, 51% to make sure that I get a side. Here's a side, 51%. And the public agrees with me. 63%. I didn't look at these percentages, guys. When I sit down and I record, I make sure that I don't look at these percentages because I want to give you my real, as authentic as possible, so you can see where am I with the public, am I against the public, and I'm with the public here, and it's a dog pick. I'm gonna go with the dog number 2, Damian Jackson, and this is right. Fine, I know 63%. It's kind of pushing it. To be honest, but Damian Jackson will have to be the official pick for this fight from me. And yeah, what else can I say? Just pretty much it. Now, we're cruising. Good, I like that. 31 minutes in. Trevin Jones versus Javid Basharat. Good fight. That's one thing to know. Trevin Jones, 5-star, is... kind of have a love and hate relationship with him because he's so unpredictable sometimes, to tell you the truth. He was completely counted out in this Timur Valya fight, and he knocks him out, but it looks like it was reversed. Let's see, probably for some supplementation. Let me see. Originally KO win for Jones. The result was later changed to no contest when he tested positive for marijuana. He won the fight. I don't think marijuana is in any way, it's not making you any stronger. If anything, it's just probably relaxing you. But that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with that. Now, he did get finished by Said Yakub Kakrakhmanov. And I kind of had a feeling on that. Shout out to Said Yakub. Happens to be my someone from my country, from the country of Uzbekistan. And I'm happy to see this because back in the day we had no one from this country, but this flag now is starting to pop up more and more, letting people know that we got some fighters there. Maybe not the best ones, but we got some fighters. He's taking on Javid Basharat, and I'm leaning this guy. I'm leaning this guy from Afghanistan who's fighting out of England. I'm sure England is giving him the work. He's definitely even though he may be fighting lower tier, you can see that he's fighting the highest of the lower tier. At least here, here's a fighter that was 11-1, and I like to see that. Here's a fighter who was 16-0 in the Contender, and I like to see that too. He's not fighting just absolute cans. Now this one is a can, John Spencer, and I don't blame him. But here's a 5-0 guy. He's willing to take a good sized fights who are also coming in with hype, and those are more risky if you ask me. So I do like that. I really have to say that. I think he has enough. I think he has enough in his toolbox to get the fight done. But Trevin Jones' style is so erratic, and he can hurt people. If you look at his 13 wins, 3 of them were knockouts and 4 of them submissions. So more than half, he got it done. He finished it. But he's also he's capable of going that distance. On the other side, Javid, out of his 11 wins, no losses, right? The man is finishing people. I mean, he's finishing people. He KO 5. So at that price tag, I'm more inclined to take Javid at minus 144 and just take a straight chance on this guy. Usually don't like doing that because debutants are just tricky here. But I'm going to trust it. I think I like what I've seen from him, and I think he gets it done. I know Trevin Jones is going to be coming in with some heat because, man, getting submitted like that, like a guillotine choke, that was kind of that was a bad look. So I'm sure Trevin, 5 stars, coming in with some heat. But I like Javid a little bit. And I'm not the only one. I'm with the public on this one. Heavy, right? 78% is heavy for me. So, and again, these are my true reactions. I did not look at these public perception stats. So I'm going to have to agree. Damian Jackson, we said. Miranda, Maverick, we said. We skipped Cody and Dolce. Gun to the head is going to be Guido Cannetti. But I would suggest not playing that at all. But like I said, gun to the head. That would be the pick. And that is all I kind of have to say on that fight. Now, I am probably going to get crucified by all the professionals out there and diehard MMA fans, but I'm skipping this fight too. I don't care about this fight. I have been wrong on Jillian Robertson from the beginning of the last 5 fights. The fight against Courtney Casey, I don't know why I was backing Courtney Casey, but I was. The fight against Paulina Botelho, I was backing Paulina Botelho, and I don't know why, but I was. So I lost there, and I said, okay, fine. Maybe I trust you. No, I'm not. I was right with that one. That's the one I got. I've never put against Taylor Santos. That's my girl. But then here, right, I was like, okay, she lost. Maybe she bounces back. Sneaky play. She lost against Miranda Maverick. And then I'm like, oh, man, I think she's done. Priscilla Cochera. Let me take it. And I was wrong. I've been very, very wrong with her. I don't have the best of luck. Women's MMA, I'm leaning Jillian a little bit, but I'm not confident at all. Like, completely no confidence level. Public perception is Jillian as well. I'm not confident. So if you want to pick Jillian, by all means, that's going to be the unofficial pick, I guess, gun to the head. But, her wrestling might be a factor here. She does have a good wrestling, and I think she has good submission game as well. Look at her submission game, 7 submissions. So you kind of have to give that to her. Perhaps that would be a factor in this fight, but I'm not confident at all, and I'm just being as honest I can be. So that is something that we're just gonna have to, at least me, I'm just gonna have to skip entirely. I don't even watch it. I'm not watching this fight at all. I promise. When I say I don't watch a fight, I really am not gonna watch this fight. But here's a fight that I will watch. We got Matt Semelsberger taking on AJ Fletcher, the Ghost, undefeated debutant, 25 years of age, welterweight, taking on Matt Semelsberger, 9-3. The bigger guy is Semelsberger. He's coming in with 6'1" to 5'10", and he has a reach advantage that I just cannot overlook. What is that? 3 and 5. He has 8-inch reach advantage. That is 2 knuckles, bro. I mean, that's crazy. Well, what do you want me to say? Enhance the line, right? Hands the line. Semelsberger, where you at, homie? You're at minus 220. You know what? Fine, I'll take it. Now, AJ Fletcher, though, he's no scrub. That flying knee to Leonardo Damiani, that was tough. Right off the jump, like straight into his face. That's tough. Now, what's tough is Semelsberger coming in here, taking on Carlton Minus, exposing him for the fraud that he is, taking on Jason Witt, who shouldn't have been in the UFC, going the distance with Chaos Williams. And if you don't know Chaos Williams, look up Chaos Williams. You're talking someone who knocked out Abdul Razak in seconds? And that's a tough guy. And Abdul Razak also, who just came off a loss as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure I fact check everything before I start talking. And where we are, Chaos Williams right here. Look at him taking out Abdul Razak in 30 seconds of the fight, And Abdul Razak is coming off a loss to Joaquin Buckley via split. So he definitely brought that fight to Joaquin Buckley. So again, I mean, that's a good fight. I cannot overlook that. I think that's good. And he tagged him. Like, he really, really tagged him. And Semelsberger comes in with that power. Like, don't sleep on this guy because he can finish you. Here's his counter right with 16 seconds. And then he doubled down against Martin Sano. Look at that. Look at that right cross. Look at that beauty. 15 seconds. I mean, the man can fight. 16 wins KO, 1 submission, 2 decisions. The man can fight. I'm a believer. Semi the Jedi. I'm not completely counting out the Ghost, but I don't know, 25 years old, he never had a defeat, you know what I'm saying? Whereas the other guy, he's fighting some good competition. That Chaos Williams really speaks volume to me because, I don't think AJ Fletcher has ever been in a fight like that. You know what I'm saying? He's literally finishing dudes like crazy, right? 4 KOs, 4 submissions. So he loves that, but he's not fighting that level. And I don't know if he's ready, okay? I don't know if the Ghost is ready yet, Maybe he will be the Ghost after... maybe he turns into a Ghost after, Semelsberger knocks him out. So, I don't know. Time will tell. I'm going to go with Semelsberger because I just have to. I need to see more out of AJ Fletcher to even consider backing him. I'm not impressed from his highlight reels. I'm not impressed from breaking down the fight. He is in incredible shape and he's young. What else do you want me to say? And that's why he's a moderate dog. And I don't think this dog might bark. I think he turns into a Ghost for real after he gets knocked out. So here's your 78% again. Okay, going with the public. And Semelsberger, will the fight go to distance? Do we have that yet? Semelsberger by KO plus 125. I mean, that's not bad. Round. Here's that. Yeah, it's kind of telling you that this might be a short fight, right? Semelsberger is just one of those guys. Will the fight go to distance? No, minus 330. So yeah, inside the distance is kind of where my head is at. So Matt Semelsberger, give me minus 220. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. So moving down along. All right, we are now officially in the main card, and we are starting off with a banger. Now, even though I might not financially be interested in this fight because it's just too much going on here, boy, am I just interested in watching this fight. I mean, this is the fight that I'll do my best of not missing. I cannot miss this fight. I've been high on Alex Pereira. I've been talking about him. I've been saying that he is the only man to knock out Israel Adesanya twice, cold, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not mistaken. He is just a phenomenal striker. Now his His opponent, Bruno Silva, this man is tough as nails. He is also very tough. Just knocked out Jordan Wright, but he's Jordan Wright is, he's just susceptible to that. Andrew Sanchez, that's a good win, solid win. Wellington Turman, solid win considering what he just did, right? Just not too long ago, who I took for 30 units, by the way. Artem Frolov punches. He's literally freaking finishing dudes. I mean, and he wants to stand and bang. I mean, hey, imagine, in his mind, if Bruno Silva can take out a killer like Alex Pereira, and who doesn't have a ton of MMA experience, and you look at 4-1 and say, well, who is this guy? Look up Alex Pereira. I dare you to look him up. He's a phenomenal striker with extensive experience in with kickboxing, so he can knock you out. Knees, kicks, punches, and now you could do elbows. This guy is, he's a talent. He's definitely a talent. Might be a little too late for him, getting into the UFC at this age. I don't know. Time will tell, especially after this fight. But, I have to favor Alex Pereira, but I just want to watch this fight and just enjoy it and not be on pins and needles. So, this is tough. This is actually very tough for me. Because, like I said, I have respect for Bruno Silva. I freaking do. You know what? How will the fight end? That way we're picking no sides. We're hoping for our result, right? Alex Pereira minus 178, and I'm not hating that. Bruno Silva, if you believe in him, I'm not hating that because he's a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, by the way. Bruno Silva is black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And what if he switches up on Alex Pereira? What if he's in guard, getting his ass kicked, and he pulls out, a arm triangle or something? I don't know. I don't know. There's just so many factors. I just rather watch it. Let's hope it doesn't go the distance. And here's the proof. This is where they at. Again, I don't check lines before making this video because I want to give you the honest, expressions. This is it. This is where they really thinking. So, how can we capitalize? Time props. Minus 420 on the KO prop. Under 1.5. I don't like that. But I like it at the same time. This is a tricky fight. That's what I'm saying. It's such a tricky fight. Such a tricky fight, guys. It's just, that's why I think I'm gonna side with Alex Pereira. And personally, I'm gonna say this is a 55-45, at best 60-40. So 60% confidence. 78 public seems to be on Pereira heavy. So, but if the fight stands standing, 6'4", he has just a beautiful frame, a long frame, just like Israel Adesanya. He got that 80 reach, 6 inches of reach advantage going to Alex Pereira. If this is a slugfest, Alex Pereira, right? So give me the money line, Alex Pereira. But I'm just a little bit concerned. Should the fight go down, he might get caught, and we saw that he's susceptible of getting taken down. Michailidis took him down, right? He fought Andres Michailidis took him down, so he's susceptible. He's definitely susceptible to that. But if Bruno Silva says I'm banging with this guy, and a word on the street that he wants to bang on this with him, I would be concerned for him, because Alex Pereira, I just cannot say enough. This guy is an animal, and I think he should take it if it stands standing. One thing I almost forgot is that I believe Alex Pereira trains with Glover, if I'm not mistaken. He's in Connecticut, so I'm sure he's training with Glover, and it looks like Glover is making killers out there. He's putting in that work in Connecticut, so I wouldn't just count him out with that. So just wanted to kind of give you guys that for your information. So maybe he's not too terrible. He's learning. But how much can you learn at 34? Let's see. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely learning. But black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's a factor. But if fight stays standing, again, I'm gonna say again, Alex Pereira all day. Oh boy, here we go. Terrance McKinney, T-Rex, taking on Drew Dober. Drew Dober has had a tough time as of late. He is favored, and I don't know why he's favored, to be quite honest with you. Maybe he got the name recognition, but T-Rex, man. And again, public perception is on, Terrance McKinney here. Do they know something we don't? Because I don't like positions like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to overthink myself and doubt my picks. I gotta be straight up with you. I like Terrance McKinney, man. I think the guy brings the fight so hard. He just overwhelms his opponents. 27 years old. He always got a smile. Like, it's just another guy that just, I love watching his, interviews, always smiling. He got that contagious smile. The guy died almost several times. They had to revive him several times. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Someone who, came back from the dead, essentially. He was counted out against Farazim. Look at him finishing Matt Frivola. He's literally finishing, man. That's good, right? I hate to be the hype guy. I mean the guy that just goes with the hype. But how can you not like Terrance McKinney? And Drew Dober, dropping the ball. I mean, the last 5 fights, Paulo Reyes, Nasrat Haksprat. I knew he's gonna expose him there. By the way, I like that position for him. Here's a fight against Alexander Hernandez, which I don't know. That was a good win for him, He does pack power, as you can see. He's knocking dudes out and pretty crazy, right? But so is Terrance McKinney. Oh, my God. Fight doesn't go to distance, right? Imagine. It shouldn't go to distance, actually. It shouldn't go to distance. And they're just going to squeeze it a minus 270, which is not bad in a parlay, if you ask me. But you're talking about two guys who are going to be fighting. You could talk about Drew Dober, who wants to finish this fight, in my opinion. He needs this job. One more and Drew Dober is out. Go back to modeling, man, or something. I don't know if he actually did modeling, but anyway, look at that chiseled bone structure. Maybe he goes and tries modeling. But yeah, I don't know. He is coming off Elevation Fight Team again. Respect for that camp over there. But I'm going to have to go with T-Rex, man. He looks phenomenal. He's walking out a decent weight. He was like 160 and change on Monday. The cuts shouldn't be that crazy. He's always in shape, like he says. I believe him. I just don't want him to just, go guns blazing and get knocked out. But it is what it is. So maybe fight doesn't go to distance you want to look at. But I'll just take another dog, Terrance McKinney over here. Because, yeah, I got to respect that. Yeah, I got to respect that. Physicality-wise, let me just mention it. 5'10", McKinney, 4-inch reach McKinney. I don't know. Everything says McKinney. That's, I hate when I think this is a trap, So I'm going to take McKinney in one parlay, probably in that one unit parlay, but I'm not going to repeat it again. But I like McKinney as a dog juicer. So, yeah, sign me up, man. All day, every day. Give me McKinney. I'll take it. I'll go on that side. And I'm going to go on record to say that if T-Rex comes through for me and I hit that dog, I'm passing this fight. I don't care about this fight. I could care less if Karl Roberson, Baby K, gets knocked out, he gets submitted, he gets violated. I don't care, to be quite honest with you. And I don't think Khalil Rountree is going anywhere either. So this is it might be a sloppy fight. Maybe it won't. Public perception is on Rountree heavy. So, Karl Roberson tends to gas out. Doesn't have the best stamina, in my opinion. Doesn't like to get hit as well. So, if Khalil Rountree comes out there and he's putting that pressure, and as you can see, he took out Modestas Bukaskis. And I don't see why he can't do that here as well. So, another fight, maybe you want a target fight, doesn't go to distance, possibly. again, for me, it's just I'm not interested here, and if I'm not interested, I am not willing to be financially interested, which means it doesn't make sense to spend any time in it, because time is money. Time is money. Time is money. Time is money. I don't play games. I think you guys already got that message. Moving down along, all right, we got Alex Caceres taking on Sodiq Yusuff, and this is where I like it. So, off the bat, not wasting your time, minus 245. Sodiq Yusuff is the pick. Sodiq Yusuff is the play. Sodiq Yusuff is going to be the younger fighter. Sodiq Yusuff has more room to grow. Obviously, Alex Caceres has been on a tear. 5-win streak. Is he on a 5-win streak or more? He's on a 5-win streak. So, he changed his diet. He's doing better things. He's more in tune, and he's taking out a lot of these hypes. He's just taking them out. All these hypes, taking them out. Chase Hopper, Austin Springer, Kevin Kroom, Seung Woo Choi, right? Just finished them. Here's a win in grappling. So, I mean, he's doing the right things, and maybe the grappling might be the X factor here. Maybe I'm just so high on Sodiq Yusuff, even though he came off a unanimous loss to Arnold Allen, but this man is a problem. Arnold Allen, who's going to be taking on, who's a Booker. Oh, I'm sorry, Hooker, right? Dan Hooker. Not too far from now. Which I got Arlen Allen, by the way. So if you're looking for a future position, that might be it. So again, I'm going to go with Sodiq Yusuff. Being a little bit younger, I think he learned from it. It's been 10 months since that loss. I'm sure he had to have been wrestling and working and progressing. I think Alex Caceres is at the top where he's going to be. I don't know how much more he can get better. But I do respect Sodiq Yusuff enough. I'm thinking that, this Nigerian comes through here. You know what I'm saying? Before that, Andre Fili, Gabriel Benitez, Shaman Moraes, Suman Mokhtaran, Mike Davis, Dylan Tuke. So definitely put up a nice win streak. So from the Contender Series, 1, 2, 3, 4 fights in UFC, and they were spectacular. Dominant in the unanimous, and then, finishes where he could finish. So I like Sodiq Yusuff. I think he's the rightful favorite, being that he's younger and he has a better, he has more room. I'm sure he wants to bounce back. And Alex Caceres, on the other hand, he wants to keep winning, right? It's gonna be a nice tug of war, but at the end of the day, I think Sodiq Yusuff does it, but physicality-wise, I mean, he's going to be a little bit undersized, 5'9 to 5'10, and 73 to Alex Caceres, and 71 reach for Sodiq Yusuff. So there's a slight 2.5 reach advantage for Alex Caceres, and he is coming from MMA Lab, something to consider. So again, without wasting too much time, without going too crazy, I think in the exchanges, Alex Caceres is going to have his moments, you know what I'm saying? But, looking for the danger factor would probably be maybe some wrestling. But again, someone who just lost to a good grappling and position control fighter like Arnold Allen, he had to have worked on this. He had to have prepared for this. So I'm going to go with Sodiq Yusuff. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to be very stern on that pick. And we are now officially in the co-main event. Marlon Moraes taking on Yadong Song. And again, it's like we're getting to that repeated pattern here. Marlon Moraes at one point was a problem, right, at the bantamweight. But again, this man comes in and just, like, you could look at the guy's shoulders, right? I mean, this is hashtag super goals for me. I wish I looked like this guy, but yeah, I think he just has too much muscle that he just goes too hard in the first round and he just gasses out and just loses after that. But, Yadong Song, yes, he showed that he is willing to outpoint you. And, his counter striking, wow, and this fight is awesome, by the way. Let me just say that just from a pure fan, MMA fan, this is a good fight because you got I mean, look at this guy. He's 24 years old. He has 18 wins and 6 losses. 24 fights at 24 years old. You got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? Marlon Moraes, 23 wins, 9 losses. Last 3 losses. But who is he losing, right? Before that, by the way, here's the loss to Henry Cejudo, got knocked out. He bounced back against Jose Aldo. And I don't know. I think Aldo won that fight, to be honest. He got knocked out by Corey Sandhagen. He got knocked out by Rob Font. He got knocked out by Merab Dvalishvili. And Merab Dvalishvili, the machine, is a machine. He just keeps grinding you and grinding you. So for him to knock you out, right, who doesn't really knock people out. Now, let's go to Merab. Let's go to Merab, who's a crazy guy. I love Merab. I like Merab, for real. I follow him on Instagram. He's a funny dude, man. I want to see him back in the cage. 10 decisions. You know what I'm trying to say? So, someone who only has 3 knockouts and you happen to be one of them, it kind of tells me that, that your jaw... And by the way, look at this guy. I mean, he is just ripped. This guy is just shredded, man. I want to look like this guy. I'm going to go on record and say, if I want to look like any UFC fighter, I want to look like this guy. This is exactly how I want to look. Hopefully. I'm going back to the gym. Just came from the gym myself. Maybe that's why I got so much energy. Anyway, Yadong Song. Yadong Song, the Kung Fu Monkey, man. This guy is young. He's fast. He's explosive. And if Merab is knocking him out, Zedong can knock him out. I mean, why not? Why not? Look at Yadong Song. He got 7 KOs. He's not a stranger of knocking people out. Doesn't mind going the distance, but here's that nice knockout. I had him against Julio Arce. I don't know. I mean, at this point, you see this jaw? You just got to find out how many cracks and where can I land, because he seems to be just getting knocked out. And one more knockout, you out, homie. So I have to go with the younger guy. I think his speed is just going to be a huge factor, like phenomenal. And Marlon Moraes likes to fight. He likes to bang. And Yadong Song can move very fast. Very fast. He can just snap back with one take and just counter right, man. Let's just go with Yadong Song. We already locked that in. Let's lock it in again. And there's pretty nothing much I can say. Marlon Moraes retirement fight, possibly. I mean, the age discrepancies it's there. It's almost a decade. It's just a big gap. And I'm not saying Marlon is old, but I'm bantamweight. He's getting up there. And the fact that you got finished 3 times back to back to back, that's volumes. I'm gonna have to go with Yadong Song officially, and I'm gonna play him. And there you have it. We did it. We're in the main event. We got Thiago Santos, Maeta, taking on Magomed Ankalaev. 38 years old for Thiago Santos, major red flag. 29 years old for Magomed Ankalaev. Hence, he's the heavy favorite automatically. The age is such a big factor. Light heavyweight division. 6'2" to 6'3", 76 reach for Thiago Santos, 75 for Magomed Ankalaev. I mean, guys, ever since that loss to John Jones via that split decision, having both of his knees completely busted out, having taken a knee straight to the face that he could have taken the fight as an easy win against John Jones. He decided not to. Kudos, respect. But man, the wear and tear is just too much. Getting, submitted, beat down by Glover, then losing to Alexander Rakic, if he beats Johnny Walker, but we just witnessed Johnny Walker is really kind of not what we thought he was, right? He's kind of brittle. Let's just say it. As big as he is, he probably can kill me, with one punch. But I'm just gonna stay at that weight. with those monsters. He's just not that. So I have to go with Magomed Ankalaev, a true contender in the light heavyweight, perhaps the future champion. He has wrestling, he has power, he has technique, he has great striking, he has great defense, he has great footwork. I mean, the list goes on. He's 29 years old. He's about to be 30. He's at the optimal peak of peakness here. Am I going to tell you to pick Santos? I'll be a fool. And hence the biggest favorite on the card is Magomed Ankalaev. And I don't blame it. Now, in terms of point value, how much he adds, let's just say you had $200 on this crazy parlay, which is, I mean, look. Wow. Let me change that, because we're not going to put $200. We're probably going to put $25. Let's just keep it real. We're not that confident. There's some spots like Damian Jackson that can burn us. There's Javid, Basharat that can burn us. But let's say for the miracle parlay, we put $25, right? 0.25 unit play, just because we want to have a good fun night. Imagine, that'll be great, right? So now, if we put Magomed as the anchor for the 10 leg, we go from 43 to $700. I mean, that's a considerable jump. I would add Magomed as an anchor. Why not? I believe in him that much. I have no problem with adding Magomed. So let's review now all of our picks. And then we're already a little bit over an hour, but it's just a story that we have to do. It just the full card breakdowns are just long, okay? This is just how they are. But I have timestamps. Use them, okay? You're welcome. Okay, let's go. We took Tafon Nchukwi. We took Javid Basharat. We took Damian Jackson. I think he was kind of a dog at first, but now it's evened it out at even money. Our dog number one is Tafon Nchukwi, hopefully. Javid, Damian Jackson, Miranda, Maverick. I don't like the line, but I have to. I don't want to take Guido Cannetti by any means in this parlay. I'm probably going to take him out. So, that's going to drop down to 2,000, which is quite all right with me. But Guido Cannetti is the better fighter, in my opinion. He should be the pick in that fight against Kris Moutinho. I think he's just overall better fighter everywhere. You might take him down and just beat his butt that way, but who knows? Anyway, we took him. I like Sadiq Youssef. I like Young Zedong. I am a little bit worried about Sadiq Youssef. Just in case he wants to be a little bit too reserved and worried about that wrestling, he might get outpointed or out-wrestled, if you will. But again, I don't know. But he's kind of scaring me. But I think Yudong Zong, he gets this job really, really done. So I like Yudong Zong. I like Magomed Ankalaev. I like Guido Cannetti as a dog pick. Again, $25 for that miracle. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do it. We're going to do it because I'm about that life. We're going to put that in. And if I hit this $25 parlay for $5,000, I don't see like 200, 300 subscribers in the next hour after the event, I'm just going to get so discouraged that I won't give you any more parlays. No, I'm joking. But anyway, yeah, remind you, click that like, subscribe. You know what time it is. But that's good. So look, I'm in there. Actually got $50 in there because I don't keep money. That's another rule. Do not keep money in that sports book. Cash it out. Send it to your bank account. Wait for it to come in. Don't get the money at the counter unless you really need to. Sometimes I do. But if you're trying to be safe, just put it back into your bank account. And so I don't keep money in here. Okay, I really don't keep money in here because I'm scared to keep money in here. Okay, because I play. Okay, $25. Let's go for that miracle. I'm gonna hit that now. You're gonna ask me where's your head at? What you really want to do? What I really want to do is probably Miranda Maverick. Even though everything I said, I want to go Matthew Semelsberger, to be honest. I want to go Terrance McKinney. You know, in that I need a dog. I'm gonna go with Sedong Young. Okay, and I'm gonna go with Magomed. So I got a 5-leg parlay for plus 641. Miranda Maverick, Matthew Semelsberger, which I'm scared. Maybe I should take him out. Let's do a 4-leg parlay. Let's go Miranda Maverick, Terrance McKinney. He will be the biggest liability. Okay, but I like him. You know, I think he's capable of getting it done. I think the public likes him. I think the UFC likes him. I don't think anybody likes Drew Dober. Let's go with Terrance McKinney. Yadong Zong, you know, Marlon Rivera could surprise us, but I don't know. The path to victory with Marlon Moraes is going to be very, very, very sketchy. He's going to have to go and finish this fight quick, because if he doesn't, the longer the fight goes, it's all the young Yadong Zong. He can literally stand and bang with you for 3 rounds, no problem. The kid is 24 years old. The other guy, you know, muscle-bound, Marlon Moraes, he's going to be stuck as hell. He's going to want to finish, take his head off. I'm worried about that, so be careful, but it is what it is. This is the game we play, and I'm going to cap it off with Magomed because I just think he's the future. So how can I not go with Magomed? 4-leg parlay looks kind of good to me, plus 409, so we could put that $25 there, and that's a good play if you ask me. So boom, locked in, loaded. That's my favorite play, if you ask me. I might do some props. If you want me to do props, you gotta comment down below. Tell me if you want some props. I'm gonna try to sauce out a parlay for you guys that's gonna be sweet, not spicy, sweet. Hopefully, right? But that kind of wraps up my show for the day. It's been real. Your boy Saif did it again. Another great video breakdown. If you made it this far, thank you. Appreciate you watching. Go hit that sub right away. Don't leave without it. Hit that like and comment down below. Let's get this show on the road. You know, plus 56 units in the last 2 events. Not bad at all. Let's see if we can keep the ball rolling. I do want to roll. Max play would probably be 2 units, so $200 for that plus. I'll probably make $800, $600 profit. That'll be plus 6 units, and I'll be absolutely content. I'll see if I want to cook up a prop parlay. Haven't done so yet, but if I do, I'll probably upload a quick video or maybe go live and just tell you my plays really quick. We'll see. But yeah, I'm kind of done. This has been real. Santos, Magomed going down. And your boy Saif is he's done. He's tired. I'm out of here. Bye.